Hey, everyone. Welcome to Unique Ways with Thomas Gerard, an audio podcast. Got an awesome guest on today. He has 18 years of experience in the fields of product, graphic, and interior design, conceptualizing, designing, documenting, managing, supervising, and researching both commercial and academic projects. He's worked worldwide as a designer and as an academic with great success in organizing and leading teams. Please join me in welcoming Bruno Oro. Welcome, Bruno.
Thank you.
You ready for 20 questions?
Yes, let's go through it.
Okay, here we go. Number one, tell me a little bit more about yourself. What do you do?
Well, I am an industrial designer. I have been a practitioner for a great part of my career. And for 13 years, I became an academic in industrial design. And that's what I have been doing for these 13 years. Although I tried to be only an academic, it seems that I just cannot get out of the practice. So I have been juggling with both at the same time. And that's pretty much what I have been doing.
Nice. Just to know for our audience, Bruno and I both know each other as lecturers, I guess, in
Mhm.
for 10 years ago.
Key
Okay. Yeah. Okay, number two, what's a key piece of knowledge that makes you different?
piece of knowledge. I think I have been going to so many countries and moving for work and teaching in different cultures that that's what I think makes me different from some people. I mean, the ability to adapt to different cultures, to understand that people brains work differently depending on the country where you are. It's almost like a cognitive background, sort of. Each one of us acquired it differently to some extent. So, and that's my flexibility and adaptability is something that I think that makes me a bit different.
Great. Yeah, we've got a question coming up about place. I'm excited to hear your thoughts about that one. Okay, number three, why this of all things? Why do you do what you do?
Well, it was my plan to become an academic back when I was an undergrad. My last year, I thought, well, I like it. I will become an academic eventually, and I will start doing things that will allow me to reach that eventually. But it seems that academia called me earlier, and I moved to India, where I met Thomas while teaching, and that's uh, I to some extent I thought I was going to go back as a practitioner, but it doesn't seem that life wants me to do that. So I remain in academia for all those years, even though I have been doing freelance and working with other companies in some projects. I think I like it. It makes me refresh my knowledge in design every single time I teach a course. It's a constant refreshing, it's a constant update, and that's the beauty of being an academic, from my perspective.
Nice. Yeah, we're recording the podcast from Vancouver, Canada, and you were recently in another part of Canada, right?
Oh well, I left Canada again,
Yeah.
so now I moved to Iowa.
Nice.
I was hired by the Iowa State University, and I moved to Iowa in the beginning of this August. And now I'm here pretty much permanently, kind of.
Nice. Well, that ties nicely into number four. What does your future look like?
I always try to predict my future, but since then I'm just doing the the wrong hopes on it. I thought I would eventually settle, and I thought I was going to settle in Canada as well, but it doesn't seem it's going to be like that. So I wasn't expecting to move out of Canada, but I did. I would say if there is one thing I can possibly answer correctly about my future is that I will likely remain as an academic for a long time. It's a profession that I love doing, and it's something that's part of me.
Nice. Number five, they say is unique to this podcast. The question is, let's talk about location. How does the notion of place play into what you do?
Oh, well, that's pretty much, I gave that answer a bit before, but I think I have been moving from Brazil to India, India to China, China to Canada, and Canada now to the US. And there were a bunch of countries in between and a bunch of students as well from different countries. So I I don't think I was answering. I got someone asking me recently if I get homesick. I don't know what is home anymore. Let's say I don't have that feeling of belonging to a place since a while ago, and that also allows me to not r- keep roots and allow me to go to different places and understand design in a different way as well. If we put up on this way, I mean, in design, I learned that we need to listen, to reflect, and to put into practice. And there isn't a large option when you move to a different country. You need to adapt most of the time. And I'll say that plays a lot into what I am, into what I do.
Nice. And number six, if you had to start from the beginning, what advice would you give your former younger self?
Hmm. Take a bit more risks. I think that will be the message that will give to myself, especially. I mean, get stuff done quickly. It's something that I learned down the road. I mean, you get old and you see that you're wasting time. So that will be one of my best answers. Get stuff done as fast as possible because there is more coming and they will accumulate and you're not going to have time to do everything.
Hmm. Nice. What's a day in your life like?
Uh, uh, that's a lot. I mean, recently I have been doing a lot of research. So I'm waking up, I'm moving to work, I'm working on research, I'm doing my teaching, I'm doing my teaching preparation. I talk to students the whole day. And when I go home, there's a good chance that we'll work on research again. That's pretty much how my life is at the moment.
Just to know for our audience, if you're liking this episode, you'll want to check out the other Bruno Porto, who also spent time in China teaching and is kind of an enigma in that way. Number eight, lifelong learning is a popular topic. How do you stay up to date?
With my students, that I mean, academia puts you up to date, willingly or not, you have to. And I would say my job offers me that, and that's great.
What tools do you use? Are you both digital and analog?
I've been playing with both. Due to my profession, I mean, I'm an industrial designer, so we have to create solid prototypes. We have to create products, but we also have to go from the prototype to the 3D modeling and render. So I've been using both. So I've been using Keyshot, V-Ray, SolidWorks, Photoshop, all the Adobe package. Let's put up in the way because I don't see how industrial design goes away from graphic design as well. So we have a great connection with the graphic design field. And that's pretty much what I use daily.
Okay, halfway, number 10, how do you deal with work-life balance?
I have a problem on dealing with work-life balance. I think that's a problem that most academics have as well. I mean, there's no way out. Your brain will be constantly thinking about a topic, especially in the design field. Your brain is going to do a constant brainstorming. And I don't think I got a way out of my work, to be very honest, since I became a designer.
Number 11 is a good one for you because you're also an award-winning practicing designer, right? But the question is, if you weren't doing what you do now, what would you be doing?
Hmm. let me try to see if I will get out of, well, before fully becoming a designer, I was very into music, and I was recording with my band, and I think and I was teaching electric guitar as well. So there's a small chance I will have remained in that field. I don't think I will be fulfilled as I am now, but that will be a possibility.
What would you not like to do with your career?
Mm, with my career.
Hmm.
Mm. Um, I don't think I will retire them. I don't like the idea of retirement. It's
Hmm.
just it's sort of a terrible long vacation that you stop producing. I don't think we should stop producing.
Do you have a favorite word, quote, or sentence?
Um, Life is a brainstorm, and I would say that because we are constantly finding ways to go through everything we go every day, and we're constantly finding answers, finding ways to get things done, finding ways to reach somewhere, finding ways to get a new job, finding ways to interact with someone. And for that, we are constantly brainstorming.
How about a least favorite word, quote, or sentence?
My least favorite one. I don't think I have any.
Hmm. 15, if you had to pick one word to describe yourself, what word would you choose?
A roller coaster.
Nice. What keeps you up at
Well,
no?
no, for this, I go between being very into something to the point that I get exhausted and I want to change to another thing. So I normally get tired of something very fast, so I have to move to something new. And I think the profession itself helped me to continue that bad or good habit.
What keeps you up at night?
Brainstorming. It's something that I hate, but it happens. And if I had a conversation, well, if I have a talk with Thomas on the next day and I brainstorm about it will likely take me 2 to 3 hours to tell my brain that it's time to stop.
Do you have a dream you're chasing?
The dream I'm chasing. I think I'm just looking forward to being a very accomplished professional and accomplished in my field. I don't have a specific dreams. I think things along the way organize themselves.
And final stretch, number 18, what inspires you?
Human behavior inspires me.
Hmm.
Let's put up on this way. The way people interact, the way people talk, how they behave, the things that they choose, the products, how they see life, their thoughts. That inspires me quite a bit. You can learn a lot from how people behave. And that's, I think, one of the greatest stuff that we have around us. It's a great way of learning how to run your life and how to run some of your work as well.
Any advice you'd like to share?
Any advice I'd like to share? The world is very small, very, very small.
Okay. And number 20, the one everyone loves. How can our listeners keep tabs on you? How can we follow you? What should we check out? What's our call to action?
Well, you can search my name on Google and you're going to find many, many ways around to get in touch with me. It's very easy to find me. It's not difficult.
Great. Well, thanks so much, Bruno. We had some great times in the developing world together. I miss those in some ways and am refreshed by this conversation in other ways. So great to have you on the show. Thank you for being a guest.
Thank you, Thomas. It was a pleasure to be here.
Thanks.